shifting gears into a very important subject, art imitates life, life imitates art. And the main thing that the United States still produces is movies and art, books, comic books, literature, television shows. We're the big purveyor of it. And it's all laced with conditioning messages. Now, in the last few months, I've had a lot of people say to me, Alex, what's all this hype with the Hunger Games? And I said, I don't know. I'm not reading fiction books right now. Don't have time for it. And then I saw some of the ads for the movie, had a chance to read the synopsis, had a chance to view the film. And Aaron had a chance to go last night and see it. And it completely blows me away. And Aaron was staggered at the end of the film last night because it's exactly what's in all the eugenics documents. It's exactly what's in the Biological Diversity Assessment, UN, Club of Rome. It is a super advanced technological society by a tiny technocratic elite who have rewilded 90+% of the country. They have the nation broken into 12 regions, which we're 10 regions under FEMA. They have monorail for the elite. Most of the public's been killed by an artificial collapse around 100 years before. And they play the different zones off against each other and organize society around ritualistic warfare, gladiatorial games. Now, in the UN Biological Diversity Assessment 96, they talk about gladiatorial games, bringing them back, human sacrifice. I cover that in Endgame. They've expunged it off the UN website. We have a copy of it. They just have a synopsis. We're going to have to dig that back out, by the way, Aaron. This is what is in all their literature. You got the Jumbotron saying, spy on your neighbors. It's feudalistic. If you get caught, poaching something, even though there's plenty of game, you get killed. It's the system they plan on setting up. Most people in compact cities, 90+% population reduction. It goes right down the line. Amazing technology everywhere, but only for the elite, not for the general public. And the elite have a subclass that manages things who are profanely trendy and gibbering and foppish and metrosexual. All of this is the plan. Now, Aaron, we're about to go to break. You got a minute and a half to give us a preview of your take on this. Aaron?
You got it, Alex. And we've got so many of these movies. The reservoir is deep with these archetypal, thematic movies that tell us about the system they're building and designing. And this one really hits home because it's, I think, 74 years in the future after the rebellion, which clearly seems to be this time. And those who fought back were punished with this game system where they take the children and put them into this gladiatorial.
It's all about the state taking them. And again, there was a rebellion against the central government sometime before, and then 74 years have transpired since the game system was developed, yes.
And they have UN-style peacekeepers. They call them peacekeepers in the film, and they monitor the different districts, and they live in squalor and basic things, but they're spied upon under a high-tech system. There's plenty of food, but they restrict the rations for the control of the population. And if you go for more food, they put your name in the bowl more, so you're more likely to be chosen for this likely death gladiatorial game.
Total eugenics, actual plan. Upon seeing this, it completely blows my mind that you see this film and this is what they've got planned. I mean, this is total predictive programming.
It's sick, and it's got the whole Wizard of Oz node at the top behind the curtain. There's the little society of trendies who serve the system, have the stylish haircuts, and they celebrate this game, and it's a great thing to bring in these little chosen people from the outer realms.
Stay there. We'll be right back with the Agenda 21 movie. Let's put on screen for TV viewers the author of the Hunger Games, and we do want to try to get her on air with us, because I want to pick her brain, Suzanne Collins, and ask her if anybody approached her with this info. I mean, obviously they did, or she's a listener of this show. And the fact that she wrote this novel 4 years ago, the first one, and it is Agenda 21. So she's either a patriot, and folks even mid-level in Hollywood don't know what they brought forward, or this is a mass conditioning program. Aaron, what do you make of this? Why do you think they've deployed this? Because they don't deploy anything big like this with this type of hype unless it's meant for a reason.
The thing is that it's always a double-edged sword, Alex. I mean, even if it was written with the right intentions, most of the public watching this film has no clue what they're watching, just like all these other films, and it's subconsciously in the mind. And if you're not aware of what you're seeing, it does help them kind of hold you and get to your...
That's right. If you're not conscious of it, it actually conditions you and acclimates you.
If you are conscious, you can just, as you're lounging in your chair, decode these things and start to put pieces together.
And it's all about nanotech out of computers manifesting. So there's artificial intelligence, might even be running it. You've got genetically engineered wasp, fake artificial environments, fake skies that are so huge.
Yeah, it was very gladiatorial, but also Truman Show, also Running Man, where it's a manipulated reality with this game show, and the population's very kept. This is several generations into a kept population.
It's to keep you focused on their corner of false reality, because they can't rewrite the entire system, so it's about sucking you into the spectrum of their lies. And this lady's a television writer, so she's writing TV shows that are designed to suck you in. Man, I tell you, it's hardcore.
I mean, I just heard about this movie yesterday, so I know nothing about the author. But in terms of the themes, it's the classic ritual sacrifice where they choose children from each district. But instead of rebelling against the fact that they're taking and basically sentencing to death these children,
people are competing.
They cheer for it, and they hope for pride of their district and this and that.
Well, that's really what it is. People's sons get killed in the military, and rather than get upset about it, they're really proud of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all a ritualistic sacrifice.
It's really creepy, but they put a lot of things in your face, including the genetically modified creatures they had in this thing, and like you said, the nanotech creatures that were created on computers and instantaneously brought into the reality of this world where they're having the competition.
Yeah, I'd only heard about it in the last few months, people mentioning it, and I saw major hype, and then you never heard of it till yesterday when you guys went to see it. I mean, overall, it's all there. This is Agenda 21. This is the rewilding. They talk about gladiatorial games, human sacrifice in Agenda 21, in the biological diversity assessment. I mean, this is what they want to build. And so I guess they had to make a movie about it.
It's just really creepy. And it's just like the film Zardos, where it's the outlying districts, the furthermost from the centralized planning government, where you kind of have that last vestige of the rebellion. Even though they're programmed, you find those who finally resist coming from that area. And they still have a little bit of their humanity intact. They know how to hunt and run a trot line, as the song goes.
And the country boy can't survive, so perhaps this Collins lady will put her back on screen. Maybe she's good.
Again, I don't know anything about the author of these books. I did hear that the next book has to do with when they go back to their FEMA district, or if they don't call it FEMA, whatever they call it, it's basically a FEMA-kept region. And they got the population divided, and it's divide and conquer once again, where they have ethnic groups in their own division, and they're pitted against the other groups, and there's a lot of that kind of thing going on, again, as you have the upper class who are into the trendiness and the foppishness and being in style and buying into the pageantry of life.
Exactly. If the population would just realize that style and fads are all scientific systems to control you. Once you become aware of the manipulation, no matter how sophisticated, it doesn't work anymore. We'll finish up and then go to Dr. Ben Fuchs, our pharmacist. By the way, Woody Harrelson is in the film. And we've reached out to Woody Harrelson. I worked with him on Scanner Darkly. And I've talked to him a few times, but I've never really twisted his arm into coming on. But we're close to getting him on. He's just shooting another film right now. I'm just blown away by this. I want people to understand this is the type of stuff that the globalists are trying to set up. Districts are poor working class. It's like a time warp. Each district is fenced, dirt roads. People are hungry. They live off squirrel meat. And, of course, if they catch you poaching, then you get in trouble. I mean, this is the complete system. The globalists want to go back to an agrarian, feudalistic system with controlled, compact science cities. I mean, this just blows me away, Aaron. I keep saying I'm blown away. They made a movie about what they're planning based around Running Man game shows with technology projected into our areas where we're wearing loincloths. How many times have I said that? That's their plan. And then now they've made a movie about it, and people think they're seeing fiction, when this is actually a blueprint of Mad Men.
Yeah, they have rustic 1900-style societies, and then they have spaceship-type crafts floating over to monitor the population. So that gives you an idea of the technological separation. But all the writings show a bifurcation, a separation, two classes, you know, a super rich and a super poor. And the super poor, of course, is the great mass of everybody.
And all they are the small amount that they allowed to live after they killed 90+% to toy with us. It's just because they enjoy still torturing us, they're going to keep some of us, they say.
But I know you already justified why talk about a fiction film, but I don't watch much TV anymore, so these kind of films...
Well, you have to talk about it. It's a brainwashing system. Go ahead.
It really makes an impact on me, but these things carry real themes. I mean, we say, you better stick to reality. Well, it's full of fiction and reality anyway. Look at the Obama bin Laden narrative we just talked about. And
no, they're already blurring the lines. Look at how this Trayvon Martin thing is a production. Whether it was wrong or not, whether he was murdered or not, the point is the media decides to push this now. Why?
They wag the dog. But on the point of food, they have so much excess food, they throw it to the pigs, they throw it in the dirt, but you can't have any because you're under this ration system. You're being kept by the peacekeepers.
And that's the carbon tax model. They're actually calling for rationing. We ought to do a whole review of it and just piece by piece talk about it and then show how that's their real plan.
The most amazing part of this movie, if you're one of the chosen sacrifices who's reaped from the crowd, that's your only glory in life, is that you get taken to the Golden City, that you have a chance to shine one more time as you burn up in death, improbable death. Because for those who don't know the scenario, they bring 24 children and only one can survive. The others have to kill each other, and that's the point of the gladiatorial sport here. And
as I said, the ritual high priest psychopath class in every culture manifests the same design. They want your kids. Right now, the TSA is just wanting their genitals. Okay, and you know, mommy and daddy are taught, the men in uniforms with the little pot bellies with the spit dripping out from their lips, they're going to grab your genitals now. And people do it, and you're going to take the cancer virus shot. We're already in it. Okay, we're already in a total control grid, and it's about to get a lot crazier. Speaking of that, we're going to have the Prometheus review.
Yep.
Sneak peek. We have the inside scoop, Secrets of Prometheus. That's going to be out, Thursday, Aaron?
Yep.
Ended up doing an hour of voiceover for a 10-minute clip.
It was pretty intense, but we're going to get it done.
All right. You got your work cut out for you. We'll be exposing that Thursday.
But I just can't tell you how creepy it is that they have a multi-generational ritual sacrifice for the fact that the population dared to rebel against the controllers. That's really at the heart.
But that's what they really do. Governments get together in many cases in history, like the French and the British, and would have wars between cousins because, oh, I'm having uprisings, so am I. Let's start a war. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's what they do. They put the fluoride in our water because we're free Americans and we're the best. They're teaching us.
But, Alex, you represent history. History sees what's really going on. It's us in the now who are deceived, the general population, and that's who it's aimed at, telling us, don't fight back against this system. Salente yesterday talked about the natives getting restless. The population...
No, that's it. The message is you fight back, you die. We, the elite, are gods above you. That's the message of the film.
Of enemy propaganda rolling across the picket line. Lay down, GI. Lay down, GI. We saw it all through the 20th century. And now in the 21st century, it's time to stand up and realize that we should not allow ourselves to be crammed into this rat maze. We should not submit to dehumanization. I don't know about you, but I'm concerned with what's happening in this world. I'm concerned with the structure. I'm concerned with the systems of control. Those that control my life and those that seek to control it even more. I want freedom. That's what I want, and that's what you should want. It's up to each and every one of us to turn loose of just some of the greed, the hatred, the envy, and yes, the insecurities, because that is the central mode of control. Make us feel pathetic, small, so we'll willingly give up our sovereignty, our liberty, our destiny. We have got to realize that we're being conditioned on a mass scale. Start challenging this corporate slave state. The 21st century is going to be a new century. Not the century of slavery, not the century of lies and issues with no significance, and classism, statism, and all the rest of modes of control. It's going to be the age of humankind standing up for something pure and something right. What a bunch of garbage, liberal, Democrat, conservative, Republican. It's all there to control you. Two sides of the same coin. Too management teams bidding for control, the CEO job of Slavery Incorporated. The truth is out there in front of you, but they lay out this buffet of lies. I'm sick of it, and I'm not going to take a bite out of it. Do you got me? Resistance is not humankind is too good. We're not a bunch of underachievers. We're going to stand up, and we're going to be human beings. We're going to get on the real things, the things that matter, creativity, and the dynamic human spirit that refuses to submit. Well, that's it. That's all I got to say. It's in your court.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Pharmacist Ben Fuchs is going to be joining us for the balance of the hour here in just one moment. And Aaron's going to continue to ride shotgun with us. But finishing up, Aaron, with the Hunger Games, I think you hit on the heart of it. It's the idea that there's an advanced civilization, there's advanced technology, the general public is kept at a primitive level so they can't challenge it, and the elite have these glistening, secret, high-tech cities, life extension, genetic engineering, nanotech, with floating UN peacekeepers above them, just so they can toy with humanity. The elite want to basically live as gods on a Mount Olympus, but still keep humans there to toy with us because they're psychopaths and enjoy the ritualistic dominating humanity over and over and over again. And there's a debate within the elite and many other publications on whether they will keep some of us to toy with, or whether they're going to just basically exterminate 99%. And we've gone over those quotes and documents. Aaron, comments on that?
And I'm glad you said Olympians. Of course, this stuff is archetypal because there's thousands of movies you could pull it from. But as the games go on, as the children chosen from these districts are made to compete for their lives gladiatorially in this matrix system, Truman Show type system, you've got the Olympians who run the inner city, directing things, keeping tracks of charts, and they have little tracker chips in the arms, and another nod to RFID, and they monitor the whole grid, add new factors in. It's very Mount Olympus. It reminds me.
Oh, exactly. They have tracker chips in them, and I saw an MSNBC article today, Aaron, where they're announcing the school uniforms are all going to have RFID now.
It's so creepy. But remember the movie Jason and the Argonauts, where the Olympians, the gods, are bored. They're bored with life. The only thing they care about is that little chess piece on the board. Was it Jason, or was it one of those other Greek myth movies where because he's in the fight, because he's fighting back against the system, because he doesn't accept what the gods have decreed for him.
Well, sure, that's Clash of the Titans, all of it.
They're super interested in that person, the one who's fighting back. And you see that in this film, too.
It's just so pathetic that the elite can do this, because they're not elite. They're a bunch of scum. They're like cancer. They're willing to do bad things, so they believe that's their social Darwinian, social Darwinistic right to do that to everybody.
Yeah. And then a sub-factor of the gladiatorial contest, they always have the professional gladiators who've been training for their whole lives, and they almost always win the contest. And I've seen other movies where this is a theme, too, where even though you're brought in to fight for your life, you really don't have a real shot at winning. You're really just meant to die because they want you to know you're dominated. But you have a chance.
But it's still their system. So it's about making you feel helpless because you're not helpless. And we're exposing the real secret, the deep secret of the Hunger Games here today.